All right, so are you ready to dive into kind of a juicy topic today?
Always up for a juicy topic.
We are looking at which zodiac sign is most likely to ghost you.
Ooh, interesting.
And I have to admit, I'm a little bit nervous to see what the Star Signs and Secrets podcast has to say about this because, I've always kind of wondered if there is like an astrological explanation for why people just vanish sometimes.
Yeah.
Have you ever been ghosted?
Of course, who hasn't in this day and age?
Yeah, it's like a modern day mystery.
It really is. It's like the digital disappearing act.
Yeah.
And it leaves you with so many questions.
Absolutely, and like a lot of hurt feelings too.
Oh, tons.
So let's unpack the podcast that we are looking at today. They highlighted 3 zodiac signs
Okay.
that might be particularly prone to ghosting, and I'm really curious to hear your take on this.
Okay.
First up, we have Gemini.
Okay.
Now, Geminis are known for being very social, right?
Social butterflies.
Yeah.
Always flitting about.
Yeah, always moving from one thing to the next.
Yeah.
So is there something about their astrological makeup that makes them maybe more likely to just disappear on someone?
Well, Geminis are ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication.
Oh, so you think they'd be good at it?
You would think, right?
Yeah.
But that mercurial energy can also be a need for constant stimulation.
Ooh.
So they crave new experiences and conversations.
Yeah.
And if they aren't getting that, they might just move on.
But wouldn't it be kinder to just say something?
You would think.
Like, hey, I'm not feeling this.
Yeah, you would think so. But Geminis can also be a little bit avoidant
Oh, really?
when it comes to confrontation.
Interesting.
They'd rather just slip away quietly
Yeah.
than have to deal with anything awkward or emotional.
So they're just like, see ya.
Yeah, see you later.
Wow.
The podcast actually even used a funny term. They said that Geminis are attracted to the next shiny thing.
Ooh, that's kind of harsh.
It is a little harsh.
But I kind of get it.
I get it too.
Always looking for the next stimulating conversation.
Exactly.
The next experience.
Yes.
And if you can't keep up, then
Yeah,
you're left in the dust.
exactly.
Okay, so Geminis might ghost out of boredom or fear of confrontation,
Or both,
or both.
possibly.
Okay, what about the next sign on our list?
We have Aquarius,
Okay, the water bearer.
the water bearer.
I love aquariums.
Yeah, they're known for being independent,
Yeah.
free-spirited.
Yeah, they really need their space.
They need their space.
Yeah.
Very much so.
So I can see how that could lead to ghosting
Oh, absolutely.
if they feel like a relationship is getting
They're close.
too close. Yeah, like too intense,
Totally.
too much.
So they're just out.
They just disappear, poof.
So it's almost like they're ghosting to protect themselves.
Yes,
More than to hurt the other person.
that boundary.
It's a boundary.
Okay,
Yeah, it's their way of creating space.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So Gemini's boredom, fear of confrontation Aquarians.
Need their space.
They need their space.
Too much intensity, and they're out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the podcast mentioned one more sign that's prone to ghosting, and they said it might be a bit surprising.
A little surprising.
So lay it on me. I'm ready.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
The third sign is Pisces.
Pisces, really?
Yeah,
That's not who I was expecting.
I know, right?
Pisces are like the romantics,
Yeah.
the sensitive ones.
Yeah, very sensitive.
So it seems kind of counterintuitive that they would just like disappear on someone.
It does seem counterintuitive, but you have to remember Pisces are ruled by Neptune,
Oh, okay.
the planet of dreams, illusions, and escapism.
So are you saying that Pisces might ghost as like a way to escape a situation that feels too overwhelming?
Exactly. Emotionally overwhelmed.
Emotionally overwhelming, yeah.
Okay.
Pisces are very compassionate and empathetic,
Yeah.
but they're very easily overwhelmed by strong emotions.
I've always thought of ghosting as this like cowardly thing to do,
Yeah.
but hearing you explain it like this,
Yeah.
it makes me think that maybe sometimes it really is more about self-preservation
I think so.
than anything else.
Yeah. And for a Pisces whose feelings run very deep,
Yeah.
that need for self-protection can be really strong.
So if a Pisces is feeling overwhelmed or maybe unsure about their feelings,
Mm-hmm.
they just might disappear rather than try to sort things out.
That's possible. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
They're also very intuitive,
Oh, interesting.
so they might pick up on these subtle cues
Okay.
that make them feel uneasy or uncertain about the future.
Interesting.
And instead of addressing those feelings directly, they might just ghost
Yeah,
as a way to avoid potential hurt.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
This is making me rethink my whole perception of ghosting.
Really?
I mean, I still think it's important to communicate openly and honestly in a relationship,
Of course.
but I can see how certain personality types might struggle with that,
Yeah.
especially if they're dealing with these like deep-seated fears or
Oh,
insecurities.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
And remember, we're talking about pendencies here,
Right.
not absolutes.
So not every Gemini is going to ghost you because they're bored,
Right.
and not every Pisces is going to disappear because they're overwhelmed.
Okay, good point. Good point.
Yeah, but I think by understanding these astrological archetypes,
Yeah.
we can gain a deeper understanding
Okay.
of the motivations behind ghosting,
I like that.
and maybe even have a little more compassion for those who do it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So we've got Geminis who might ghost out of boredom or a fear of confrontation.
Right.
We've got Aquarians who might disappear to protect their freedom,
Yes.
and Pisces who might vanish to avoid emotional discomfort.
Exactly.
It's almost like a cosmic game of hide and seek,
It's a little bit like that. Yeah.
but with real life consequences.
Real life consequences indeed.
So I think the key takeaway here is that ghosting is rarely about the person being ghosted.
Yes, I agree.
It's almost always a reflection of the ghoster's own internal struggles or communication challenges.
It always is. It's never about the person on the receiving end.
I think it's so easy to take ghosting personally.
Yeah,
Like, you did something wrong.
of course.
But it's about the other person's inability to cope with their own emotions
It is.
or communicate effectively.
Yeah. And if you've ever been ghosted, I think it's important to remember that you deserve to be treated with respect and consideration,
Yes.
regardless of someone's astrological sign or emotional baggage.
Well said. I love that.
Thank you.
So what do you think, listener? Have any of these ghosting archetypes resonated with? Have you ever encountered a Gemini, Aquarius, or Pisces who seemed to fit the bill? We would love to hear your thoughts and experiences, but before you do, let's wrap up what we've learned about this fascinating and often frustrating phenomenon and perhaps explore some ways to navigate the ghosting landscape with a little more grace and understanding. It's funny, we can kind of joke about these ghosting archetypes,
Yeah.
but it really does sting when it happens to you.
Yeah, it does.
It's like this weird mix of rejection and also just being totally baffled.
It is such a strange emotional cocktail because you're left with so many questions.
Yeah.
And it goes against our nature as humans.
Right.
We need connection. We need closure.
Yeah.
And to just have somebody disappear.
Yeah. It's like they took a piece of the puzzle and just threw it away, and you're trying to figure out what the picture was supposed to look like.
Exactly. You're trying to put it together and you can't.
Yeah.
And it's no wonder people feel so hurt and confused by it.
Yeah.
It's like a conversation with a missing sentence
Yeah.
or a story with a missing chapter.
So is it really as simple as saying, oh, they're a Gemini, so they got bored?
Right?
Or she's a Pisces, so she got scared?
I think it's much more nuanced than that.
Okay.
Astrology can definitely give us clues
Yeah.
about personality and communication styles.
Yeah.
But it's not an exact science.
Right. And I mean, even though we've been talking about these three signs,
Yeah.
Geminis, Aquarians, Pisces,
Right.
I'm sure plenty of people from other signs have either ghosted someone or been ghosted.
Of course. Yeah. Anybody is capable of it.
So maybe the better question isn't which sign is most likely to ghost,
Right.
but how can we navigate this dating landscape where ghosting just seems so prevalent?
Right. How do we deal with this?
Yeah. Is define the relationship still a thing?
Well, maybe not in those exact words,
Yeah.
but, having conversations early on about what you're both looking for
Oh, okay.
and how you want to communicate.
Okay.
Are you looking for something casual or something more serious?
Okay.
How do you feel about texting versus calling? What are your boundaries when it comes to how often you communicate?
So it's about like laying the groundwork
Yeah,
for
exactly.
good communication.
Yeah,
So you're not left guessing or reading between the lines.
exactly. And if you're ever feeling unsure or uncomfortable, don't be afraid to say something.
Okay.
It's always better to address things head on
Yeah, definitely.
than to let them fester and potentially lead to ghosting.
I love that advice. So to our listeners out there, whether you're a Gemini, Aquarius, Pisces, or any other sign,
Yeah.
remember that open and honest communication is so important.
It is.
It's key for healthy relationships.
Absolutely.
And if you've ever been ghosted, don't blame it on the stars.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just aren't capable of communicating effectively.
And that's on them.
Yeah, and that's on them, not you.
Your worth is not determined by somebody else's inability to show up and communicate.
Well said. So, what have we learned from our deep dive into ghosting today?
Well,
Maybe understanding someone's astrological profile can give us some insights into their communication style.
yeah.
But ultimately, we all have a responsibility to communicate clearly and respectfully,
Yes, we do.
regardless of our sign.
Absolutely.
And maybe, just maybe, by having these conversations,
Right.
setting clear expectations,
Yes.
we can create a world where ghosting is a thing of the past.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Hmm.
What do you think, listener? Are you ready to join the movement for open and honest communication?
Let's do it.
Thanks for joining us on this cosmic journey today.
It's been fun.
And remember, the stars may incline us, but they don't define us. We'll see you next time.